All right. So recently I've been, looking at some games and, mostly playing games from the past and, classic games that people played back in the day when they were goated and everything like that. I was just playing some past games and then I looked at the games that we have right now, like in 2025, 24, whatever, the games that we have now in the modern age. And one question popped into my mind. Are current day video games becoming soft? Now, what I'm trying to say is that are video games becoming more like, less violent and more about like the games just don't feel the same what they used to. Because again, we had a lot of good games back in the day, games that were actually created, fun memories. Like you could remember a game so good and you could remember something from a game so well done that you could just like instantly remember it when you see it again years later or something something like that. You feel me? Like games back in the day were fun. We had so many good games, valid games, but now everything just feels like it's either some woke slop or, just made for a genre that like no one really cares about. Like again, we had games back in the day like Splinter Cell and Call of Duty and God of War, like these kind of games that you didn't like back in the day. You didn't have to worry about people bitching and moaning about like the violence and the things you do. Like for example, again, first person shooter games back in the day or beat 'em up games like Devil May Cry, God of War, games like that back in the day, like, where we could just play the game and not worry about if anyone have anything to say about it or give it an opinion. But now in the current day of gaming, it's like you see the most dumbest things in gaming, or you say something about a certain character or something in the game and everybody's ready to like, rain down hate comments. For example, and no disrespect, but like if somebody in a game is like the LGBT and I say like I hate that character, again, this is an example. I'm not actually saying that I hate that community and stuff like that, but like let's say if someone said that they hate that character, a certain character in the game, and they make it known on Twitter or whatever, the whole the whole app and the whole game base whatever is ready to rain down hate comments. Like you feel me? Like what I'm trying to say is that the current day gaming, like I guess you can say system and current day gaming community has gotten so soft to the point that you can't even put something in the game no more and somebody will either scream like, oh yo, this is too violent, or this is not this, or this is not that. Like again I said with those people, those rainbow people, like if they don't put like one shred of LGBT in a game or something like that, they're ready to hop on Twitter and say some crazy shit and say like, oh, this game is bad because they don't have no representation of this and that. Like you feel me? Like nowadays it's just like the communities and everything have just gotten so soft. And back in the day we didn't have to deal with this shit. Like again, we had games like God of War, GTA, Resident Evil, Splinter Cell, all these games where we had violence in the game and no one turned a blind eye. You feel me? Like these games were our childhood back in the day. Like I mean, some of these kids back then should not even be playing these games, but parents were pretty irresponsible back in the day and stuff like that, and they just let us play anything. But those games were fun. Like you feel me? Those games were fun, and you didn't have to worry about nobody getting on your case if you said anything, because we all enjoyed the game back in the day. Like again, we had our FPS games, our beat 'em up games, our stealth games, etc., and no one was sitting here complaining about playing these games on a daily basis. But now it just feels like if you don't put this thing or that in the game, or if you don't put this type of character, include this type of woke stuff in the game, it's a bad game and people try to cancel. Like you feel me? Like we're just going in the unnecessary direction. Like again, we went from having fun and amazing video games there you didn't have to worry about violence to like, if you see one little blood on the screen or something like that, it's a problem, or everything gets censored and all types of stuff now. And it's just annoying. And this is one of the reasons why people nowadays don't even have like a interest in gaming now, because before whenever we get a new game, it always has to have some agenda behind it now. Like, again, either it's pushing, woke or whatever, or some type of like, how should I say this? Like independence, like, some sort of like feminism or something like that. And you feel me? I'm just tired of, like, again, I said I don't hate that community. I don't hate them, but it's like they try to push this in every single game nowadays we get, and it's so annoying. Like, I won't even be surprised, like, GTA 6 was to drop like what, next year or 2027, whenever they said we're getting it, and they don't show not one like rainbow flag or something in the game trailer or whatever when the game comes out. I won't be surprised people would literally probably send Rockstar death threats and all types of stuff. And it's funny because GTA had those in the game before. They had these things in the games before, but it's like, again, no one really took it seriously compared to how we took it now. And this is why I say again, the games and the communities are becoming pretty soft, because again, you could put like gay stuff, like back in the day, gay jokes were even in games, and sometimes some people would just laugh at it and be like, oh, this was funny and whatever, and we didn't have no issues with it. But now if somebody does that in a current day game, niggas on Twitter are ready to hop on this shit and say, oh, this person is being transphobic, they're being this, they're being that. And you feel me? It's so annoying. Like, I'm tired of this. And again, they just keep on like forcing this in games, and it's just unnecessary, bro. Honestly, it's like, I'm not saying no games could have it, but I just hate when they just they would just put this shit in the most random scenarios possible, and we do not need it, bro. Like, if you want to put it in the game for a little bit, fine, but they just put it for no reason. Like Assassin's Creed Shadows was a perfect example of them doing that. Like, I don't get it. It's so annoying. Like, again, no hate to that community, but it's just that the way these people act over the most simplest things, being in a game or doing whatever. Because I remember one time, going a little off topic, with the Deadpool movie when it came out with Wolverine, the She-Hulk actor, I forgot her name, she literally was roasting the movie because they didn't have much inclusion of women or some shit like that it was. And it was so dumb, because like, bro, and I think she was like making complaints because Deadpool was cursing and all types of shit. My nigga, it's fucking Deadpool, bro. Deadpool, we know from way back when in comics and everything, even his own game, we know this dude curses a shit ton. Like, we know this, bro. So again, I don't see why people just make a big deal out of this so much, when back in the day, we had these games where you can say the most craziest shit, whether it's funny or like seriously, and the dialogues and everything like that, and people would say it, and again, no one had a problem with it, because back in the day, we didn't used to think about all this extra shit. We just get on a game, we play it, and make memories and play that game, plain and simple. But now it feels like gaming in 2025 and onwards, if you don't put this like category of people or certain like this in the game, like if this is not in the game, they're ready to either hate farm the game and like kill it on arrival or do some other shit. And it's so annoying, because this is why gaming nowadays is being such a letdown, because everybody, as soon as they think, they either have to force in some woke stuff, or they have to do this, or they got to cater to this audience. And it's really annoying, because it's making gaming more unbearable. And you feel me? Like, again, back in the day, like, we had these games and everything like that, and we didn't have to worry about that. Like, if somebody said a curse word in the game, no one would give a flying shit, because we here for the game, bro. We not gonna sit here and bitch and moan about a simple dialogue being too crazy or too offensive or what. Because back in the day, like I said, we just played a game to make memories and have fun. We didn't go on the internet back in the day and say this and say that, because at the end of the day, bro, it's a video game. It's not real life. It's not meant to be taken seriously. But nowadays, it just feels like these people in gaming nowadays, any little thing that's not in there or doesn't satisfy their needs, they treat it like it's life or death. And I'm honestly really getting tired of it. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I guess you can call this a little rant video on why I think gaming is becoming soft and stuff like that. You guys can let me know what you guys think down below, if you guys agree or disagree, and just let me know down below. Is gaming becoming too soft, and would you guys like to go back to how it used to be before, where you didn't have to worry about whatever happened in a game? Or would you prefer how it is now with everything being woke and all that kind of stuff? So let me know down below in the comments below. And yeah, I'm Neon V2. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy and peace out. I'm out of here.